Hello and welcome back to Tearaway Unfolded. This is Bio Enchanted, and today we'll be going to the Wendigo Fissure, which is a pretty interesting level, although quite a tricky one because of its major gimmick. Also, I was wrong when I previously called that baby thing a Yeti. You may be able to guess where that's going from these large cutouts that seem to look quite similar to that baby. Also, here's a little soccer ball. Isn't that cute? Obviously it's related to a side quest here, but let's just play with it for now and move on. So you may be able to guess from the name of the episode that this is actually not a Yeti we've been dealing with for the last few levels. It's actually a baby Wendigo. And now we're about to see the adults. I feel this is a decently scary eye. It's like that even he gets scared of the thing he built. It's a very cute little animation there. It was like little cut out hearts and spades as well, like little card suit things. They're really cute. Yeah, this level has a few little jump scares, because this is now dealing with... Well, before we were dealing with things we could actively fight. Scraps and crows and things like that that could easily be dealt with. These things are much nastier. I quite like the mood of the area as well, with the purple lighting and things. A little reminder of... This is what we've been dealing with as far as Wendigos go. Or as far as Wendy's go, I guess. And now it's time to get to all these barricades. I wonder why there's so many barricades. Maybe we should be worried. This part kind of confused me because I didn't actually realise what I was supposed to do here, because it's not clear that a particular power actually works on these platforms, because they look quite heavy. And so I'm just having some trouble figuring out what exactly I'm meant to actually do with these drums to get them into the right positions. Or like to do whatever you need to do with them to actually be able to move on the level. So I'm actually going to use the little help thing in the bottom right, where it will explain... They are apparently light enough to blow around. Which is very weird, but fine. Yep, here is a full-on Wendigo. They're a big boy, aren't they? And they're throwing big rocks at us. Part of the difficulty of this level is figuring out the path and navigating these glue traps as effectively as you could do, because of course, and sometimes as well, we need to trick the Wendigo into hitting those little X's. But the problem there is, of course, if we it's kind of hard to hit that X without getting hit ourselves. It's kind of a nightmare, really. This level has some parts that are a little annoying, but it is kind of a fun thing, and I quite like the jaunty music as well that goes with that, the Wendigo theme. It's kind of similar to the Scraps theme, but a bit more kind of epic sounding. Despite still being somewhat comedic. These guys actually remind me quite a bit of the Canarans from Rayman 3. But more imposing, honestly. Let's unravel this drum, shall we? I quite like as well the way this game uses the drums. At least this area uses the drums in kind of rhythm. Because if you're at a certain point in the music, when you start bouncing over these, and yeah, the drums kind of fall as they get hit by rocks, this part can be really annoying. But it kind of gives the idea that the drums kind of act as almost like part of the music because of how they sync up, and that's pretty cool. If you listen to the music here, thump, bum, thump, bum, thump, bum, thump, bum, thump, bum, thump, bum, you can kind of tell that these drums are almost about the right position to make that happen. If you're playing the level perfectly, it'll probably sync up a lot better. I quite like as well all the things peeling away as the whole like landscape falls apart underneath you. Really, and of course these like really floppy platforms as well that the Yetis will knock down. Yetis, the Wendigos will knock down. It was about here that I noticed the drums actually following sort of the rhythm of the music, or trying to if you weren't playing badly. Right, I'm putting out a new if I were playing badly. And here we have a bit that I'd kind of forgotten how to do, but here's the trick here. We have to get on these rolling logs and blow them towards us. And those little drums will unfold out to give us a fast way back up. I quite like the rhythm of the drums in general as well, it's quite a fun thing. Although the covered drums are a little annoying in this area though, it's a bit fiddly to deal with when you're dealing with things throwing rocks at you while also trying to avoid getting crushed by said rocks, and the drums kind of fall as they get hit, and it's just kind of a mess. Kind of fun though. Now the very land crumbles beneath us, the very floor opens, as if it would swallow us whole. I quite like you can see like layers of paper as well. It's quite a cute little way of showing the strata in the earth, instead of it just being like a smooth shaft made out of like a cylinder of paper. We really thought out how to make the papercraft thing really effective in this game. This level also has quite a fun kind of contrast with the next level, which we'll discuss when we get to it. But for now, let's get through this section, shall we? As we figure out this new mechanic. So essentially, you can see the plants light up when they're in the dome, when the light's on them, and then when the light comes off them, they start counting down until the dome opens. And that's how you meant to use the domes. Close them, jump on them, and then move on. So now we know how to do that. We'll skip that just to just move on. So this area's primary gimmick. This guy really could do with some more furniture in the cave. Maybe they could afford some if they put an account upon Wendigo. And yeah, if you get caught in the corner by these guys, that can be a nightmare. So be careful not to let that happen, especially because the Wendigos stay where they are when you die, which means if you die with them in a bad position, it can be really irritating. It's a cool little area, this though. I quite like the whole, like, the way they use stealth mechanics. But one thing I kind of wish they'd do is I kind of wish the light actually affected the Wendigos, like blinding them or something like that, because really the only way to deal with the Wendigos properly and actually like stun them temporarily is by hitting them with the attack where you throw something to the U and then throw it back into the screen again from the controller, which doesn't really give you that much opportunity to do because there's not really that many rocks around here, and it can be quite hard to find the rocks sometimes, so you can't really beat the Wendigos at their own game very easily, and that's a little bit of a shame. It makes them kind of annoying. I do quite like all the little papercraft skeletons, so it's quite cute. But yeah, those balls are basically just in those little clamshell things, so that those rocks, so that you can throw them at the Yetis by using that method I mentioned, throwing them into the screen, and then throwing them back in again to damage the Yetis. Well, you don't need damage, you will stun them. And in this area, it can be hard to figure out where to go, because part of the problem with this level is there's quite a lot of secrets. And yeah, here's where I learned about stunning the Yeti, but there's quite a lot of secrets in this level. And so there's a lot of false paths, like this one, for example, which is only really leading to a secret, I think. And so I mess it up, and it's just not really a path that goes anywhere. I think it's really not even a secret, it might just be for the actual confetti. Because you can see the other half of the path over there. So it's kind of a problem I have with this level is that there's sometimes it can be hard to predict what it's going to do or where you really need to go. Because that looks like a ramp, but it's not. You really need to go over there through the rib cage. And you need to go through the rib cage because otherwise the land opens up beneath you like that, which is a bit nonsense, really. I found that quite annoying. So we're nearly done with this area. We've done with most of the actual stealth stuff. We just need to let this Yeti Wendigo get some yocks. Yocks? Rocks. So now that we've cleared the way, let's catapult ourselves out of here, shall we? If you like what I have to say in these videos and the games that I'm playing and things like that, and you think there's anyone else that would like to see me play these games, do remember to share the video. And please also, if you please like and also comment. I'd like to see you engaging with what I'm saying. If you have anything interesting you have to say about any themes I bring up or anything you think I might have missed. And also please do subscribe because it does help as well. So I'd like to be able to get like a better headset, that sort of stuff, and it'll be very beneficial for me to be able to make more polished videos with that in mind. So let's go on to the final stage of this area, shall we? Yeah, a lot of Yetis. I quite like this skeleton drawbridge. I guess it counts to it fell, but the bridge, well, the ribcage bridge. This can be a nightmare because if you're rolling, you won't stick to the glue. Because of course the glue's on our back, not on our feet, so we need to kind of stop rolling at that point. But rolling here can be quite beneficial because these guys are fast and they hit hard. And this can be quite tricky to work out how to do as well because you actually need to blow upwards. And it can be a bit finicky sometimes, get the wind to blow in the right direction, at least on the PS5. So this part gives me a bit of trouble. Yeah, here we go. Just battered into the void by Yeti Wendigos. I keep calling them Yetis. I think it's just because I've got used to doing so. I'm sure I'll figure that out, but it's not Yeti. Well, let's just Wendigo, shall we? Now that I've figured out how to make these go up properly, it's much more easy to do. Especially because from here the Wendigos can't really hit us. Yeah, there's a lot of them, isn't there? I'm quite cool the signs as well that they're mowing down. It's a cute little environmental thing, especially with the more broken signs as you reach this area. And there's some more signs show up as well. So this is why this area is a really good contrast to the last one, because before, in this area we were in just now, we were fleeing the Wendigos for our lives, but here they seem to have got a bit more of a handle on them. They seem to not really be worried about them at all, which is interesting, and we'll see why next time as we actually enter the level and see what it's about in the lab. So I'll see you then. And thank you for joining me. Have a nice day.